Hello, welcome to Anthropology 1, Intro to Physical Anthropology. I am David Leitner. I will be your professor for the semester, and this is just a quick video to introduce the course and how things are going to work, kind of get you set up and oriented so you know what to do next. In the future, there will be other short videos, sort of mini lectures on topics that are covered in the book or in the tests, or just stuff that is good to know, and maybe just for fun, basically. Well, my fun. I don't know if you're going to find it fun. So with that said, let me go ahead and get started and tell you a little bit about the course. The main way you're going to be accessing the course is through Canvas, and this is what your Canvas page should look something like. Actually, let me switch to student view so it really looks like what you're going to see. Here we go. This is what you're going to see. You're going to open it up, and for those of you who haven't used Canvas before, there's a section at the top here called announcements. You can also get to these announcements by clicking on the announcements tab here. This is one of the main ways I'm going to communicate with you guys during the course. I will be both using the announcements feature and the inbox feature over here. If you want to communicate with me via email, it's actually better to use the inbox feature in Canvas than it is my normal email address. I do check both regularly, but I get a lot of email. I monitor actually 4 different email addresses because I work in several districts, and the chances of me not seeing your message in my inbox in my normal email is pretty high. But I check the Canvas inbox for this specific course every day, at least every day or two, actually usually several times a day. And so I'm more likely to get back to you faster if you communicate with me this way. So I encourage you to do that. There are other ways to contact me as well that we'll talk about in a little bit, but that's good to know straight off the bat. You see over here your to-do list. This is important. It reminds you what assignments you have coming up. If you missed any, it'll flag them. It's important, however, that you don't just sort of rely on this and for knowing what's going on in the course. For instance, like office hours aren't listed on here. You have to go to the Confer Zoom link over here on the left-hand side to get to the office hours, and I'll show you that again in a little bit. You're going to see a quick welcome and a quick message from me. Here's one of the other ways to contact me. This phone number is a Google phone number, and so I encourage you to actually text me on this. If it's a relatively simple question or something like that, where you just need clarification about an assignment, or need a quick question, or to let me know that you need to arrange a time to meet that is outside the office hours, just send me a text here. I check that. I mean, they go straight to my phone, so I get them pretty quickly. Be reasonable. I'm not checking my phone at 3 in the morning, right? So I might be up. I don't know. Sometimes I play too many video games, and it happens that I'm up. But don't count on me responding that late. And I might be a little slower on the weekends because I think it's healthy to take a little time off from work. All right. Then at the bottom, you'll see these 3 buttons. This gets you to the 3 most important places. In the beginning of the course, this student orientation is the very first thing you want to go through. So you'll click on that. It will take you to it. If you, at any point during the course, you need a shortcut to the syllabus, you can either use this button down here or the button on the left-hand side here that says syllabus. It will take you to the course syllabus. And finally, modules is the one you're probably going to use the most. It too has a button on the side here, that you can use on any page. This gets you to the main sections of the course, so you can actually see them in order. We'll get to that in just a sec. Okay. Going down the list here, let's take a look at the announcements. One announcement is already up there for whatever semester it is I'm recording this. It may not be your semester, so be aware of that. Check your actual Canvas page for details. And you'll see that there's a message listed. If you click on it, it'll open it up and give you the full information here. In this case, it is about a new lab section opening up. I encourage you to take the Anthro 1 lab alongside this course. Great deal of evidence that students who do that perform better than students who don't. So if you have that ability this semester, great, do it, take advantage of it. It also takes care of your lab science requirements. So 2 birds with 1 stone. Confer Zoom. Well, I can't show you the Confer Zoom in student view, so let me leave student view real quick. It's going to look something like this for you. You're going to open it up and you'll see all these events over here. To attend office hours, you just click this open, and actually you don't even have to click it open. You can just click on the link here and it'll open up your Zoom window, or it should anyways, if you have Zoom installed, and take you directly to the meeting. Now with my office hours, typically I have waiting rooms set up. So when you first get in, you're going to be put in a waiting room. That's because I like to meet with students one-on-one during office hours, because sometimes students have personal details they need to share that they don't let rest of class to know. I don't record office hours, obviously. So I take students one by one. If I'm meeting with another student, you may be in that waiting room for several minutes. So don't give up, just stay in there. If you log off, you're going to lose your place in line. So just stay in there and I will try and get to you as soon as possible. You might be surprised, but usually I'm not meeting with the student because very few students take advantage of office hours. College tip: you need letters of recommendation, right, to transfer. I don't write letters of recommendation. Most teachers don't. For students I don't really remember or don't know very well. Best way for me to get to know you and remember you is to actually come to office hours in some way, even if it's just once or twice in a semester. You can ask us questions. Maybe you just want to know more about anthropology, what you can do with it, career advice. So I'm not a career counselor, but I can tell you things about anthropology careers that you might not know, or just to chat. I mean, we're here. I'm here regardless. So show up. I remember the ones who show up, and they tend to get letters of recommendation from me because I can actually say something. The worst letter of recommendation you can get is the one that sounds like a form letter. So if I can sort of remember you and remember what you did, or stuff that we talked about, I can actually make it sound like you're a real person. And that gets the attention of admissions officers. So just a little tip, this goes not just for my class, for all of your classes. Go to office hours. That's true now, that's true when you transfer. Always get to know your teachers. Okay, so preaching over on that. The next button down is the syllabus. Now in the syllabus here, there is a paper syllabus for the class. There's a link right here on the page that says syllabus. You click on it and there's a little PDF that has all the details. Most of this is actually on the Canvas website as well, so you don't need to read it twice. It covers all the main nitty-gritty of the course. Let me close that. We'll go through them in a little bit. Most important thing probably for you right this moment is to know that we do have a textbook, just one. That's it. And I believe you can get the used copies of these relatively easily. And it's by Stanford, Allen, and Anton. It's called Exploring Biological Anthropology, The Essentials, 4th edition. That's the important part, 4th edition. It has this cover on it. I've given you the ISBNs for the paperback version, the loose leaf version, if it's still available. Somebody last semester told me the publisher told them it wasn't available, and the e-text version. The student store should have this, but if they don't, obviously you can go to all the usual places to look for it, chegg.com, Amazon, wherever else you go. I'm not endorsing any of those. I'm just saying there are lots of places. So that's the book you need. You need to get that relatively quickly. I'm going to give you the first 2 chapters, but we're covering 3 chapters this week. And the quizzes are on Saturday. They're due by Saturday. So the discussions you can probably get through. You might not, maybe not the 3rd discussion, but that you can probably get through without having read the full chapter. But the quizzes you're going to need the book for. So that's because quizzes are open book and open note. Open note does not mean Googling though, just fair warning. Learning objectives, what you're going to learn in this course. You'll be able to describe the scientific process. You'll be able to discuss the role of biological anthropology within anthropology at large, and also identify the main contributors to the development of evolutionary theory. You will be able to explain the basics of Mendelian molecular and population genetics. You'll evaluate how the forces of evolution produce genetic and phenotypic change over time. I will let you read the rest of the, I'm not going to read a list here and waste your time. You can go online, you can read these, but these are the things that you should be able to do when you leave this course. And probably the next most important thing on the syllabus page is this automatically generated course summary. You can see here, it tells you the date and what is due on that date. So Tuesday night, tomorrow night, there is an introductory discussion and discussion for chapter 1 that are going to be due. I'll get to the discussions in a little bit, but they're relatively simple and shouldn't take you all that long. You will have a discussion and a quiz for each chapter. That's what you're going to get graded on, in addition to a midterm and a final. So that's the next most important thing on the syllabus. Finally, we come to the modules. Okay, we start with, so the modules are the units that you're going to use, that we're going to go through to learn. I've decided to do modules for each chapter because that's kind of the way we progress through it. And in each module, you'll see there's going to be a welcome page. I'm working on review pages to put on there for, but for right now, I don't have them. The chapter objectives, you'll have things like PowerPoints. Here's the free PDF that I'm giving you guys of chapter 1 and 2. And then, as you can see here, discussion, chapter quiz, which is not graded, practice quiz, which is not graded, and a graded quiz, which is graded, obviously. You can take the practice quiz as many times as you want. You can take the graded quiz twice, and I'll take the higher score, okay? All quizzes draw from the same exact test bank as the midterm and the final. It's just for that chapter. And but it does so randomly. So every time you take a practice quiz or a graded quiz, there's going to be a different set of questions. But that means you can really use them to practice for the midterm and the final, in addition to using the practice quizzes for each of those. It helps you identify where your weak points might be for each chapter, so you can go back and bone up on that. Let's see here. Okay. So in addition, there's usually additional videos and multimedia. I will have lecture videos posted that are required. You need to go and watch them, like this one. But in addition, I also have other ones that look a bit like this. So here you go in chapter 1. You don't have to watch this, but it might be kind of interesting. This video actually shows you some ideas of what it is anthropologists do and what you can do with an anthropology degree. So there may be more videos by the time you're watching this, but that's an example of what the videos and multimedia section is. It's usually optional. If it isn't, it says so. And let's see here. So let's go back to the modules. Okay, and we're going to go to the introductory module here. I'm not going to go through everything, but you're going to start today with welcome to the introduction. And it's going to give you a quick overview of what the course is. Here you go. It's going to tell you, and I'm going to try and do this for every chapter, a quick blurb about what anthropology, what the chapter is about, for the chapters themselves, why you should care about it. So a little bit about how it might be relevant to your life or to the news or just the things going on. And then a quick summary of what you're going to learn and what you're going to do. What you're going to do is kind of like, these are the activities that I expect you to do, not necessarily in that order. You can do them usually in whatever order you like. It doesn't usually matter. If it does matter, I'll state that. As you can see here, for the introductory module, you're going to watch this brief lecture that you're already watching. Aren't you clever? You've already gotten one thing done. And participate in a discussion. That refers to the discussion, the graded discussion. There's an introductory discussion in this module. And there's a graded quiz in this module as well. So don't forget to do those. The introductory module has a discussion and a quiz. The discussion is extra credit, but the quiz is required. And it's just basically some basic facts about how I run my course and what you're expected to do. Those will not show up on the midterm or final, by the way. Okay, and then to progress through, you just click next. This is an orientation to Canvas. If you are new to Canvas, watch this video. And if you have specific problems, make sure you look at the guides that they've set up for you or contact your campus's 24-hour Canvas support line by phone, which is easy. Another way to get help is you come over here to the help page and it'll swing out and gives you all sorts of options for support. Oh, I should go back to student view. So this looks just like what you're going to see. Okay. Click next. My internet's sluggish today. Again, more student Canvas resources, as well as some other IT resources, how to forward your Peralta email to another email address so you're not checking 2 inboxes all the time, if that's the way you prefer to do it. Uh, very important. You got to check your Peralta email address constantly. That is the one I have on record for you. That is all your teachers and the administration. That's the email we have on record and the one we're most likely to use to contact you. So check it often. Whether you forward it to another email address or not, make sure you have a way of checking it on a regular basis. They have other tech support that you can get here as well. Quick summary of navigating the course. What I would suggest is, actually, I'm going to alter this a little bit to say that instead of just going to the chapter 1 page, you go to the welcome page for each chapter, and then work your way through. Just click next at the bottom of every screen, like I've been doing. Okay. These are the objectives and outlines of the course. This is mostly just the, if you're interested in it, great. Feel free to read it, but it's mostly just the stuff telling you what you're going to get out of this course. The text, and it says additional costs, but there are none in the online course. Sometimes in the off, when we're not in COVID, sometimes I have you guys do field trips to the zoo. That's not happening during COVID. Okay, office hours. You go to confer Zoom. I've already shown you. You click on the link. It'll take you to the office hours in the waiting room, and I'll admit you when I'm free to talk to you. Okay. Canvas is my main way of communicating with you guys. Give me about 48 hours to reply. Okay, I'll usually reply much faster than that, but give me 48 hours because you're not the only class I'm teaching usually, and there may be other things going on. If you have an urgent need, send me a text. I do get those, and I usually respond to them very quickly if I can. But keep it short. One thing to remember, whether you're communicating with me via email or text, include your name, especially in text, your first and last name, because there may be, no matter how strange your name is, there might be somebody else with it. Strange is a bad word for it. Unique. However unique you think your name is, there may be somebody else with it. So your first and last name, which class you're taking, which campus you're taking it on. So you would say College of Alameda in this case, and the section number of the course, because oftentimes I'm teaching multiple sections. This just helps me to make sure I go to the right course so that I know I'm giving you the right information. If I think you're in a different course, I need to go searching through all the courses, and it just takes extra time. You give me this information when you text, then that will help me so much. And you'll be doing me a big favor and helping me get back to you even faster. So obviously the usual reasonable limitations on communication, right? I'm not usually working in the middle of the night. I might respond a little more slowly on the weekends. I like to go hiking a lot. Sometimes I don't have cell service or data service where I'm going. So I may not always be able to get back to you right away. But I will do my best. And I'm a reasonable man. If something happens and you miss it, you contact me, that something has happened, you're not going to be able to make a deadline, and I come back, but the deadline has passed, we'll work together on that. Okay, I'm a reasonable person, but generally speaking, the sooner you know there's a problem and you let me know, the more likely it is we can find a workaround. If you let me know after the fact, it's harder. And I might be less inclined to help. But the sooner you let me know that there might be a problem, the better for both of us. Okay. Quick little blurb, I'll let you do it later, of me. Yes, I used to have a beard. I sadly just got rid of it, but tells you a little bit about me and my background and my why I teach in community colleges, which I think might be important. And then the introductory discussion. Several of you have already left notes. Why is this not showing me the next page? Oh, that's weird. Huh. That's very strange. Anyways, introductory discussion. Then you have other resources for students. Here we've got resources for reading and writing. The writing is less of an issue in this class. There's not a ton. I do want you to use normal sort of grammar and spelling standards in your discussion post, because you need to make it clear for other people to read. So do your, try and be on your best English, but I'm also not proofreading them for you. Make sure though that people can understand what you say. But if you feel like you need any help with the reading, because readings, even scientific textbooks, which generally are laid out pretty clearly, that can be that's different kind of reading, and you might want some help with that. You can get help for both of those things, either through the library or through the Learning Center here, and their resource, their websites are right there. There's a link to the disability services folks. I am a person with a learning disability myself, and that has impacted my life for my whole life. I am very, very willing to make accommodations for students. Go to the DSPS and talk to them. If you have a diagnosis already, that's great. That helps them out to get you the services you need. But go talk to them. They're very helpful. They really want students to succeed. So don't be afraid to get in touch with them. If you do need accommodations, you're already in touch with them. Make sure you let them know ASAP so I can make any changes I need to your assignments to make that work. This is especially if you need closed captioning, that sort of thing. I'm in the process of trying to make everything both visually and audibly friendly, but it takes time to do those things. So if I need to prioritize certain things this semester for somebody, I need to know early on. Doesn't mean I won't do it if you tell me late, but it just helps me out. Stress and health. I'm a person with mental health issues too. I have suffered from depression and anxiety my whole life. Not that unusual, to be honest, when you look at the numbers in the general population, but especially in academia. You guys are being asked as students to do more for less than any other group of students in the history of this country. We are asking you to pay more. We are asking you to devote more time, and you are going to feel overwhelmed. That is a given. If you're not feeling overwhelmed, well, great, I guess, as long as it's working out for you. If you feel like you're getting overwhelmed to the extent that it may impact your performance at school, or the quality of your life at home, or if you're dealing with struggles that you might not think of as mental health, but things like traumatic experiences, domestic or partner abuse, drug addiction, either yours or somebody else's that is impacting you, there's help available on campus. Okay. The student mental health services are there for free. You have already paid for them. And the services they offer range from pamphlets and information to I believe there may be some group therapy. I think there's some one-on-one therapy available and referral to other mental health services in the county. Get in touch with them. If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are in a situation that is bad and you don't know how to get out of it, talk to them. Okay, they can get you in touch with the people you need to get in touch with. It is a confidential service. Nobody needs to know that you're there. Nobody will know that you are there. Okay, but do it. Get the help you need. You deserve it. Okay, because that's the other problem. We make you think that, you know, we've normalized being overwhelmed and suffering in academia so much that students feel like if they can't ask for help because somehow they don't deserve it. You do. You deserve help every step of the way. You are worth it. And I want to encourage you to do that, even if you think it's something my people don't do, or my community doesn't really do this. At least consider it. At least consider it. I don't know if there are specific people who are specifically trained for working with particular communities in this particular office, but I know everybody wants to and is aware of the issues that can arise. So do this. Do this. I can't tell you how it changed my life when I finally took my mental health seriously. So do this now. It will have a huge impact in the future. Okay, this is actually more of the same. I should probably fix that. Okay, what you're really here for, right? Grading and evaluation. Okay, so what is the grading scheme here? Discussion prompts are 20% of your grade. Like I said, there's a discussion for each chapter. Usually involves you going out, finding an article or something to post and summarize and give your thoughts on. And then you also need to, this is so important because students forget this part. Part of your grade is posting a comment or posting your message up there. And the other part of your grade is responding to 2 other students. Okay, so go to their comment and make a reply to at least two different students. You can do more if you want, I don't mind. But that's how you get full points. There are 5 points on each of these. 3 points have to do with the quality of your contribution, and 2 of the points have to do with responding to 2 other students. So don't forget to do it. It really drops your grade if you forget to do it. Okay, it doesn't sound like a lot of points, but you keep doing that, you're going to get really bad grade. So just keep it lively. I've got a section coming up that is all about the kinds of things I'm looking for in discussion posts and some recommendations for how to make a good discussion post. So we'll get to that when we get to it. Chapter quizzes. There's a quiz for every chapter. It's very short, 10 questions, 10 minutes, right? As I explained before, you can take the practice quiz as many times as you like. You can take the graded quiz twice. That is because I know sometimes with technology, things happen. If something does happen, you've got a backup, okay? So don't plan on getting 2 attempts at it, right? You might, the reason the second attempt is so that you don't have to email me and hope I get the email in time to give you another chance, okay? That second attempt is there to deal with the technical difficulties. If technical difficulties come up twice, it's unlikely, but if it happens, talk to me. We will work something out. But you know, don't panic. But don't, as a matter of course, be like, well, you know, I didn't get 2 attempts at this, so I deserve another one. It's not about that. It's about sort of dealing with these emergencies. Okay, so do your best on both shots. Okay, don't just take one because you're seeing what the test looks like. Use the practice test for that. Midterm and final. Midterm is worth 10% of your grade. Final is worth 20% of your grade. Midterm covers chapters 1 through 6, and the final covers all 15 chapters. All of the quizzes in midterm and final are multiple choice. They're all drawing from the same test bank. And your final grade is going to be a percentage scale. So if you get, and it's the usual, 90 to 100% is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, et cetera, et cetera. Canvas breaks down your grades into A pluses, A minus, or A's, A minuses, B pluses, all of that plus and minus stuff. Your final grade is not a plus or minus in this district. It's just a straight A, a B, a C, and it will basically be whatever the letter grade is, okay? I am a little flexible at the end. So if you have 89.5%, I will round that up to a 90%. If you don't have 89.5%, however, though, that's a hard limit. Okay. You have 89.49. I'm so sorry, but no, you don't get rounded up. That's the way math works. I know it sounds kind of arbitrary, but grades are arbitrary to begin with to some degree. I don't grade on a curve. This here says I accept late assignments with penalty. I need to correct that. I am no longer penalizing late attempts. I will accept them with the caveat that I grade late assignments after I've already graded all of the on-time assignments. And that means, like, if you give me a whole bunch of late assignments the last week of the course, if I have time after grading all the people who've been on time, I will grade yours. If I get to the end of the course and there's no time to grade those late assignments, you just get a 0. Okay, so being late is fine, but you're taking a risk because I no longer prioritize those. It's my prerogative that if it's late, if it needs to, it gets bumped. Okay. So I will try to work with people, but it really comes down to the practicalities of and timing of grading. I will try and stay on top of grading, which means I will have time to catch those up. But the best plan is don't wait till the last minute to turn everything in. Please do not do that. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to you, and you're going to be taking a risk that none of those get graded. Okay. So that's that. Okay, there are a few study tips in here. I will leave you guys to read them. Some guidelines for discussion writing. I will let you guys read them. And finally, my policy on academic dishonesty. I take this very seriously. I take it seriously because a lot of your fellow students are working hard to get the grades they are trying to get. And if you're not, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm not going to pretend the world is a just place and that dishonesty doesn't happen in the business world all the time. It does. But we're not here to sort of contribute to that norm. Okay. Cheating is obtaining credit for academic work through dishonest or deceptive or fraudulent means. That means copying notes, or not copying notes, copying tests and that sort of thing, having somebody sit sit there and tell you the answers. Googling the answers while you're taking the test, that's not a great idea. They are open book and open notes, so you have no excuse to Google. And to be honest, Googling usually is how Googling and going online to find the answers is usually how I catch people cheating, to be honest. It's because you all think that you're smarter than me, and I'm not going to pretend that maybe there are students out there who have cheated, gotten away with it. I'm not all knowing. But I will tell you this, everyone I have caught thought they were smarter than me and that they would outsmart me in this. So you got to ask yourself, if you think you're smart enough to outsmart me, are you one of the people who actually gets away with it? Or are you one of the people who kind of is really kind of overestimating yourself here? Okay, maybe just don't take the chance is what I'm saying. Why do I hate cheating? Apart from the fundamental problem that it's getting something for nothing, I'll be honest, it makes a lot of extra work for me, and I hate that. I mean, I really hate that. You want to get on my bad side, make extra work for me, especially in this way. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Plagiarism probably won't be as big a deal in this class, although I do pay attention. So don't copy somebody else's discussion post. Don't go to somebody who took my class previously and copy their discussion post from last semester or whatever. Don't do it. I will remember it. I have a very good memory. What will happen? What will happen is I will report you to the dean of instruction. Number one, that's the first thing that happens. Whatever I decide to do with your grade, usually depending on it depends on the severity of the cheating. Usually it will be a 0 on whatever assignment you cheated it on. If it's repeated several times, I may give you a 0. I may remove you from class or take other measures. But in every case, I will inform the dean of instruction. They will contact you and have a conversation about the consequences that I have undertaken, and they will inform you about the college's consequences. That usually means that there's now a record of you having violated the student conduct code, because cheating is against the student conduct code that you agreed to by applying to this community college, and that will stay on your record for 2 years while you're here. Okay, that means that if another instance occurs and a teacher reports it, then there may be serious consequences up to and including expulsion from the college, meaning you get expelled. You do not get to take classes here anymore, and that goes on your record. That, trust me, that's not going to help you get into wherever you're applying. Okay, so be aware of it. It's tempting, especially right now because we're all online and we're not used to it, and just don't give in to the temptation. Okay. That is pretty much it. Like I say, the last thing is that there is a quiz for this section. There's no practice quiz here because you can, if you need to look it up again, you need to look it up. Every question on this quiz relates to something in the introductory module. Okay, it's to help me know that you actually paid attention and didn't just click through. So it does count towards your grade. This one counts. The discussion, that's extra credit. This one counts. So please take it seriously, and we won't have any problems. That said, I am looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to the That's usually the most interesting part of this course online. And I'm looking forward to meeting all of you in office hours at some point. Hint, hint. Have a great day. Have a great semester, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.